I'd like to thank you for coming today, and I'd like to express my gratitude in receiving this award. I never expected to be inducted into the Rockbridge School Hall of Fame. I don't even remember if we had one when I was growing up. Um, I've lived in Japan now for about 22 years, maybe even longer. Most of that time has been spent as a reporter covering serial killers, the Japanese mafia, um, human trafficking, which is modern-day slavery, um, and a bunch of crazy stuff, most of it unpleasant, but that's the nature of being a crime reporter. Since I have your attention for a few minutes, I thought that I would share a few of the things that I've learned in the 20 or 2 decades that I've been in Japan. Some of them may be useful, so I'll get to the point. The first one is keizoku wa chikara. That's a Japanese saying which means persistence is the source of strength. Persistence creates power. I was never very good at Japanese. I was actually probably the worst in my class, but I persisted and studied hours and hours every day, and I became good enough to become a reporter writing in the Japanese language, and that persistence has been very helpful in getting some significant scoops as a journalist. Sometimes to get a story into print, it doesn't take months, it takes years. It takes years to gather the evidence and the testimony that you can actually write the story that you're working on. And when you do, you hope that it's important, that actually makes a difference. Hopefully some of what I've written has made a difference. The second thing is a Japanese saying, which is kiku wa ishun no haji, hikanu wa issho no haji. What it literally means is, it's a moment of embarrassment to admit that you don't know and to ask. It's a lifetime of embarrassment to pretend that you know and never ask. The older we get, the harder it is for us to admit we don't know what we're doing or we don't understand something. And as a journalist, that's a serious flaw. And as a person, it's also a serious flaw. You need to be able to be comfortable enough to say, I don't know, I don't understand, can you tell me more? It will make your life richer, but because by admitting that you don't know something, that's the first step in learning how to do it, or learning how to do it right. And as a journalist, that's very important. And as a student going forward, that's also going to be very important. When you can say, hey, I'm not sure I understand, or can you explain? It benefits you because you become wiser. We become wiser by admitting we don't know things. We don't become wiser by pretending that we know things that we don't. Finally, journalism is a kind of funny trade in the sense that, especially in Japan, your success is predicated on whether people trust you or not. It means that you have to be a very good friend to your sources. Now, your sources may not be a very good friend to you. They may betray you. They may give you up. But that's not an option for you. To be a good reporter, you have to be a very good friend. And as you go off to college, some of you who are here, some of you who are watching this who are already graduated from college and are working, this may be irrelevant. It's helpful to know what is a good friend and what is a fake friend. A fake friend is the person that acts glad to see you, but talks badly about you behind your back. They encourage you to do stupid things. They encourage you to go drinking instead of taking your final examination. They encourage you to have fun at the expense of other people. Those are bad friends. Good friends are the people that are the same when you're happy and when you're sad. They sympathize with you. They're glad to see you doing well. They say nice things about you. When you need help, they offer to help without you asking. They're the people that care about your troubles as if they were their own, and they take happiness in your success. And when you need some help making your commitments, they're there for you. You can tell them your secrets, and they'll keep them quiet, and they share their secrets with you, and you don't share those secrets with anyone else. That's what friendship is about. And as a reporter, the older I get, and even in dealing with the Japanese mafia, I've come to discover that being a good friend is probably the most important thing you can do, because if people can trust you, you can get a lot done. And if you yourself are a bad friend, you'll find that life is not very fun or enjoyable. Because if you can't trust yourself to be honest to your friends, to be helpful, to be reliable, well, then how can you trust your friends to be there for you when you need them? It's not always reciprocal, but you have to act in good faith. And acting in good faith, being a good friend, that probably is the most valuable job skill that you can learn as a reporter or in any field you go into. Friendship counts for a lot. Doesn't mean being stupid, because sometimes your friends will do crazy things, and trying to clean up their messes can get you in a lot of trouble, in which cases you need to be very careful about how you do that. You'll understand that later in life. Anyway, those are the three things I've learned in my 2 decades in Japan. Persistence is the source of strength. It's always better to admit you don't know when you don't know, and then ask, and that's how we learn. Be a good friend. Keep the secrets of your friends. Help them when they need your help. Say nice things about them behind their back. Don't say bad things about them. Don't let other people say bad things about them. Sympathize with them when they have problems. Offer help without being asked. And be happy when things are going well for them. Share their happiness. And life will be richer for you. Finally, I'd like to say, if there's anyone in this audience who is under 18, do not read my book. That goes for my kids especially. You can't even open the pages until you're in your senior year in high school, because there's a lot of sex and violence in there, and I don't want you reading it. You'll learn about that later. Thank you very much.